last time on CISRA 1984.
It's a plate of wood shavings, a single peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and some, like, cat sticks.
The faster we move on this mystery, the better, since there's a giant dragon.
Eugene actually lives on a farm.
I think Hodge wants to go check out the barn.
There's actually a couple of good dogs in this. There are a couple of, like, actual animals in here, too.
Could I try magic to unlock, like, a window or something?
I need you to tell me who you are right now.
Eugene, he owed me money. I'm just here to get what's mine.
The tendrils just like lash out and like wrap around this guy tightly.
I have a tranquilizer. I'm going to inject him. Although first I will ask, you have any allergies?
You hear a loud crash coming from the outside and like roughly the direction of the barn.
I do believe the mother has come back to her nest.
Hodge, get back. This is gonna suck.
It looks like we need to get in there now, so take me in.
Now Corbin is driving around this open field, this open football field with the Hodag following behind.
Are we going to fight, or are we going to run?
We've obviously weakened it. This is our chance.
Corbin is fucking pissed and like ready to fight now. He just turns to you and he goes, "Are we fucking fighting this thing or what?"
I need to roll my recharge.
Yeah, you got to do that.
8. So I healed 2 harm. Nice. That's all the harm I had.
I will say though that like because like you kind of have to sit there and listen to the music, you're gonna be there for a little bit.
That's
like
fine.
it's not gonna be like immediate. So, but I mean,
That's
yeah,
fine.
you got your 2. Though I like to think of it too, like when you heal up, you kind of close your eyes and just let the music take over. I like to imagine the actual smoke in your quartz starts to sort of move around when like you are sort of in this like quick stasis form.
Yeah.
And, like, any kind of cracks that you had, like that were splintering across like your crystal form, start to just slowly reform as like the smoke starts to swirl around inside.
Yeah, I really like that.
Y'all are just sort of having this standoff in the middle of this football field. Seth's arm is still sort of turtling into their own body. I think Jesse is honestly the only one that has an action that they can do immediately for like this sort of pickup for this part of the session. Right now, the Hodag is just sort of staring down all of you. Corbin is standing there. Jesse, what would you like to do in this moment?
How close is the Hodag again?
I would say, well, if we were using the football field, I would say they're a good 20 yards away.
All right. I think I want to make a necromantic wall, which is one of my attack spells.
Okay, just between like you and the Hodag.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and I guess just give me a weird roll, and we will see what happens.
Why they're all gonna be weird?
I mean, sometimes they just be a little goofy.
Weird. Okay.
So yeah, you'll get a +2 to this.
It's 10.
Oh.
It's a 10 total.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay. How does this sort of magic look for you, like from your perspective? Like you obviously like this is just going to be this rather large wall in between all of you and the Hodag. But what does the magic sort of look like when it sort of comes into like the reality of this situation?
It just looks like a wall of really large, kind of rusted metal blades, almost like razor blades.
Interesting. Okay. I think this wall is in your guys's. It's in between all of you and the Hodag, but I think because Seth, you are still like in the truck bed, and I would assume still standing. You can still see over it, and you see the Hodag doing the sort of typical thing that a bull would do, where it's sort of like scraping its like, I guess, its claws into the ground of this field, and you can tell that it's kind of like rearing up to start charging. What do you do, Seth? Your arm is still turtled up in your shoulder.
Maybe this will take too long since it's about to charge, but can I prop my sniper rifle up? Yeah, don't
Sniper
cut
rifle?
that.
Little sniper rifle.
Cut that from the file.
Cut that. No, but can I prop it up using the sort of side of the truck? One-handedly. This would be your left hand. So I'm not sure if you canonically know if this is like
Seth's good
My
hand.
dominant hand.
Yeah, like if this is going to be good for you or not.
I would assume, yeah, he could be a lefty.
All right.
Because his right arm was chosen because it was the weaker arm.
Okay.
So it's like I'm assuming the walls of the truck back, I can sort of prop my sniper rifle up using that, and that way it can serve rather than having my second arm.
I see where you're going for. I want to make
Break
sure I do also want to break free. I think that may be a bit tough because the wall is a bit tall, and I think the only reason you can see over it is because you're standing. So like the sort
sorry, that was my mistake. You're talking about the necromantic wall, right? I forgot that they did that. All right, yeah. Then it's just getting ready. I was gonna be honest. I'm assuming. Well, how did I see it then?
You're standing in the bed of the truck, and so like that extra height you can see over the wall. But like I think that because that is just enough to clear the top of it, that sort of propping the sniper on the sort of, I know what you're talking about, like the side of the beds of the or the side of the bed of the truck, like
I don't know what the name is for it, but
we'll just call it like the wall of the bed.
Yeah.
But I know what you wanted, but I feel like if I want to keep with the fiction that I've sort of established, then you wouldn't be able to see over it with the sniper in that regard. But if you want to prep for it, then that's fine.
No, yeah, I will prep for it. Okay, now that we're talking walls, and I was talking about my walls, the bed walls, and not the actual wall.
Why can't you let anyone in?
There might be also some like gaps between the blades. Like it's not like a completely solid wall, I think.
Okay, yeah, you know what? I can believe that.
Yeah. If you think like barbed wire kind of in the same sort of aesthetic.
So it's sort of like a magically fused barbed wire aesthetic, but like with knives and other kinds of blades sort of built kind of
a real junkyard wall.
Yeah, like a real junkyard wall. Perfect.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, then I guess you can try, if you want to take a shot then, Seth, you can. But I think it's one of those where it's
it's like too difficult.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you would have a harder time through the wall, but if you wanted to wait, you can still do that. That is what you're sort of setting up to do. Corbin is he pulled the knife out from the glove box, but I think he has some kind of leather sheath sort of at his side that he holsters it in and gets his shotgun at the ready. I think he honestly, like, he's so passionate about his like truck that he's definitely sort of standing like directly in between like the truck and the wall that you made, Jesse. And so like they're also sort of readying to get a shot off on this hodag. Through the wall of blades, you see the hodag picking up speed and rearing to get it to charge its horns right through the wall. It's actually just going to try to charge right through it. How much damage does the necromantic wall sort of do?
It's 1 harm, but it also adds life drain to it.
If I work with the stats here of like how much damage are you actually doing to the hodag and whatnot, I would say I don't actually think you get any health from it. I think that it does kind of just bust right through. What I'll say is it definitely slows it down. This creature definitely has armor, and I feel like you have to damage it to gain the life drain aspect of it.
Right.
So it does manage to sort of just like charge right through, but because of the nature of the magic wall itself, it does slow it down, and I think we'll give Seth and Corbin their opportunity to take a shot off. So Seth, I'll give you, not only because you prepped, but because the wall slowed it down, here's what it'll be. You'll get a +1 because of what Jesse did to your kick some ass roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a mixed success.
Mixed success with kick some ass. You and whatever you're fighting inflict harm on each other.
Okay.
Oh boy, oh boy.
A piece of the wall comes hurtling towards me.
I mean, hey. Actually, I do actually like the idea that the hodag crashed into the wall so hard that it did launch a piece of the wall at you, Seth. That is going to sort of graze across your shoulder. And I technically, in turn, I don't know if you need any healing, Jesse, but you would gain a healing from your wall. So you can remove that. Yeah, so there's this...
I get life drained.
How would this look like for you, Jesse? So like I think that whatever blade made its way across Seth's shoulder, if we were to see it sort of in slow motion, it's like the blood starts to glow on the blade itself, and there's this sort of brief connection that like makes its way to you, and it uses like the energy from the blood itself to sort of quickly heal whatever it is that you are afflicted. What harm did you have? Do you remember? Oh, it was from the spell casting at the barn. You had to suffer a harm because of the glitch. Okay, yeah, I think you had like a nasty like gash on your arm because of a piece of the barn that fell down. I think that is sort of healing over, similarly to what happened in the first session where the mark or whatever, like the scar is still there, but like the wound itself has been healed. The mark. Yeah, you look down and Mark's face is on your arm.
Another face, another arm. Your tattoo.
Corbin also gets a shot off, and you know what? Why don't
I know, why don't you?
let me see something.
Yeah, why don't you?
I don't know. Why don't I?
Hey, how about you, Keeper, roll some fucking dice?
You know what? Maybe I will.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Corbin gets a good shot off onto the Hodag with their shotgun. I think that because of Corbin's shot, because of the nature of the roll that Corbin got, which was a 10, by the way, I don't think I said out loud for the recording. Corbin can technically get an effect. I'm not going to abuse this, by the way. I figured this may be like 1 in a million chances that I, as a keeper, will ever roll. It's going to be like a gets them where they want them situation, and it's going to cause the Hodag to kind of not slow down, but veer off to like the sort of like sort of just going around the truck after crashing through the wall onto the passenger side of the truck, which now Hodge you can see as you are sort of finishing up your recharge. You see the Hodag is now on the side of the truck that you were at. How do you react after seeing this?
I think shock, because I just saw this thing blast through a wall.
Yeah, through the rearview mirror or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I think Hodge is gonna get out of the car.
All right. What is sort of your intent here on what do you plan on trying in this moment?
God, I mean, Corbin would definitely murder me if I fucking ran the car into the Hodag, but I'm not gonna lie, that was a thought for a moment. I think I'm gonna try to get into range to shoot it where the sort of armor has been whittled down with my big gun. So can I kick some ass?
You can definitely go kick some ass. Yeah, you can run up to this thing. Yeah, the Hodag is definitely sort of doing the same readying bull charge thing. It's scraping its claw against the ground after heading to that side of the truck. So if you want to roll to kick some ass to try and run up close again, because your big ass pistol is a close range type of weapon. So go ahead and give me that kick some ass. Okay. Well,
that was a failure.
Yes, it was a 5. Hard move territory here.
Make sure to mark experience.
Oh yeah. Get your experience.
Oh yeah.
Boy, oh boy, you really. This is gonna be pretty bad. This is big fight. Bad moves are gonna be nasty. You feel like you have this opportunity, right, to run up and shoot this thing, because you notice where it's got a bit more of the armor, or like it, just like its skin has been like whittled down, especially from the shot that Corbin got on this thing's face.
Yeah.
You try to get up close and shoot this thing, but then not only does your gun jam, you did reload it, but it jams in this moment, just so unluckily. Puts you in a very prime spot for when the Hodag starts charging yet again. It does these sort of, I think it just sort of literally like...
Just bull charges at me?
Just bull charges you, like launching you like quite a ways away.
Question. When can you protect someone? Can I do that?
Oh, I think I know exactly what you're thinking of. And let me look, because you have a new thing. There is also just the protect someone. Yeah, I think that... you can protect someone in this moment, yeah.
Hell
you can
yeah.
roll to try to protect Hodge from where you're at because of a spell that you have. Yeah, what is protect someone? I don't know if it's tough. Where is the...
Yeah, it says plus tough.
Oh, it's plus tough. Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll your plus tough to try and protect Hodge.
That's 10 again.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Okay. Let's see. On a 10 plus, you choose an extra effect. You suffer little harm, which is -1 harm. All impending dangers now focus on you. You inflict harm on the enemy, or you hold the enemy back. So you get that effect, but at the same time, Kareed, are you doing your new thing here as well?
Yes, I am doing my shield spell, which is when you protect someone, you gain +2 armor against any harm that is transferred to you.
I love that.
If he took 2 harm, then that protects me from all of it.
They were gonna take 2 harm, ignore armor. Like you were about to get cracked, Hodge. So yeah, Jesse, you see Hodge make this attempt at shooting the Hodag up close, and it just going so poorly. And the Hodag was ready, like the horn of this Hodag was about to basically just like charge right into Hodge's chest. And you reach out and cast your shield spell to sort of block the impact. How does this look? Like I want to know like what the magic looks for you in these moments.
Am I nearby?
You are, rather like close enough. I feel like the Hodag is a little closer when they moved to the passenger side of the truck than compared to the start of this fight. And you're sort of in the bed of the truck still, I would, unless you would like to be outside of that. But
If I can run in between them and just kind of put out my arm and make like this kind of invisible shield, like you would hold an actual shield.
okay, do you actually want to be like physically there? Or I'll give you some distance.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I like that a lot. I think that's super heroic of you too. Hodge, you watch the spike get really close to hitting you in the chest, and then suddenly you see Jesse's arm thrown in between you and the Hodag, and there's this... would you say the shield spell is also similar to like this sort of glass-like look to it as well? Kind of like the force magic?
Yeah.
This thing almost like bounces the Hodag back in this brief moment. Did you actually pick in the extra effect on the protect someone drop down there? Because you already get the 2
I think maybe
armor.
you hold the enemy back makes a lot of sense here because it's
Okay.
kind of charging and I'm stopping its charge.
Okay, yeah, Hodge, you narrowly were saved by your companion here with this
God.
magical means. You would have gotten so fucked up. Holy moly. Seth, you are still in the bed of the truck. I would say now is the time that like your arm can form back into its normal, sort of form. You
Cool.
just watched Jesse sprint in between Hodge and the Hodag. What do you do?
Guess kick some ass.
You can try and take another shot?
Yeah.
All right.
I got a mixed success.
A mixed success. Y'all, with these fucking mixed successes. You especially. 'Cause
Well, we cover the spectrum. Karita gets success, I get mixed, and Jordan gets failures.
Yeah.
I think we swapped from last time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that in the time that it took Jesse to get to Hodge, like you were sort of prepping the sniper for another shot. And when you watched the Hodag quite literally sort of get bounced back by this large glass magical shield, you took this sort of moment while it was rearing back to take another shot at it, maybe assuming that the underneath of the Hodag is a little easier to shoot through. I gotta remember how much harm your rifle does.
It does 3.
It does 3.
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, you do feel like it got a pretty decent amount of damage done to where it's at, but I think that because of the quickness of setting up the gun, even with having your other arm back, I think that even though the magic that you do is something that you're probably a bit used to, there is like a quick numbness that kind of follows your arm when it reverts back to its normal form, and maybe you just weren't as stable as you wish you could have been. And the sort of harm you take in this moment, Seth, is the gun just kind of kicking back on you a little harder than you were expecting, and kind of like putting a little tear in your shoulder, maybe, or like like that real hard impact from the shot that you took. I can't think of a way that this Hodag itself could do a harm to you in this sort of mixed success kick some ass. The Hodag, with the 2 of you there, you see it do something different than what you've seen before. You see it maybe looking like it's taking in a big inhale, getting ready for something that you haven't entirely seen up close and personal yet. How do either of you react in this moment?
I think Jesse, like running in to protect, just kind of did that as like an instinct to move, and now they're like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have come here.
You're just adrenaline kicked in that moment, and now you're just kind of like, oh fuck, oh no.
Yeah.
You guys have a moment to react while it's taking in this big breath.
Well, it's doing its fucking Bowser breath.
Can I try to do like a roll to get like a little bit behind it?
You know, Jordan mentioning Bowser made me think of Mario 64 and how you have to get behind Bowser to grab his tail in front of him.
So long, gay Bowser.
That would probably just be act under pressure to try and dodge, to try to get out of what you assume is the blast zone.
Okay, is this a consequence of my own spell casting that I'm here?
I see what you're trying here for, right? I love the broadness of this, and I do love that you want this so bad, but I actually might have to push against it because I feel like it has to sort of be like the consequence is a reaction to your spell casting.
Like if it's unsuccessful spell casting, then it makes more sense.
This was like you had used your spell in a successful way, and yes, I'll have to push against it just like for now.
Fine.
But yeah, go ahead and give me an act under pressure for that.
That is 12.
Oh my god.
Karita's luck is back, baby. I'm curious, what would Hodge try to do as well in this? I kind of want to see like what you are both sort of simultaneously doing. Like I feel like you're both gonna act at the same time here.
So both roll into each other and
yeah. So what, Karita? What exactly are you doing?
I'm doing like a combat roll to try and like dodge like directly in front of his face.
Got it. Hey Shane.
Yeah.
I have a question.
I might have an answer.
And I'm willing to, like, lose a turn or two for this.
Oh?
Can I spread as much of my body parts as I can to try to essentially get under whatever this hodag is about to? Hodge is assuming it's fire.
Right.
Hodge is essentially going to try to spread themselves out as much as they possibly can to A, minimize how hurt they get, and B, try to see if maybe they could, like, get under it.
So you are suggesting that you want to use your ability to have your detachable parts to essentially like dismantle yourself and move as like a unit in some fashion or separately in like an army. Separately
away, but yes, yeah.
And get into a position that is more beneficial for you.
Yes.
Okay. I love this idea. I need to think how.
It's a real sea cucumber move.
Yeah.
This is the most I've ever had to think about anything in my entire life. What the fuck? Okay. Because I want this to happen, and I want it to be. I want it to happen in a way that makes sense and that everybody is okay with.
It's okay to also say no to this.
No, I know, but I love this too much to let it go. The idea of Hodge kind of just turning not like into dust for a brief moment, but like just into these tiny, like just like your torso is just sort of rolling in this weird oblong
yeah,
form.
My fingers are wiggling away.
Oh man, okay.
I think maybe it would just be all act under pressure rolls. The first one to see how well I could spread myself out, maybe, and then a second one to see how well I put myself together. And depending on that second roll, see if I need to, still get my fucking hand back or something like that.
Put your arm where your leg goes.
Exactly,
okay,
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so this first act under pressure roll will be how quickly and efficiently your body can detach and move in the way that you are hoping to get it to minimize damage, to spread yourself out. So yeah, give us this act under pressure.
Yeah!
Nice, you got an 11. Okay.
It's an 11.
Okay, act under pressure. On a 10 plus, you do what you set out to, but this is part one of a multi-part series that we're playing out in this moment here. Okay. So how many parts does Hodge detach into? I want to know what you feel is appropriate for this.
I think the legs and feet are together.
Okay.
I think the hand still has its fingies, so that way it can kind of like...
Spider crawl its way around.
Exactly, yeah. Sort of Addams Family thing it away. I think my head is detached. It's rolling.
Okay.
I think my torso is detached. It's rolling.
My fucking brain is rolling with this move. Like,
Yeah, my brain's rolling. No, so I think that's what? Two legs with feet, 2 arms, or no, my arms are rolling as well. Like, it's essentially hand up to forearm, and then the last little bit of my arm is also separate.
you're in like a ton of these parts. Okay.
I have essentially Hodge just made the Lego like noise.
Yeah, just falling apart right in front of the Hodag. Okay. So you both rolled complete successes on your act under pressures to get out of the way of this, what you assume is this fire blast. I guess, well, let me ask this very quickly as a detail. Are you going underneath the Hodag? Are you sort of spreading your bits around it and letting like different parts going like around the Hodag in different sides?
I think it's more spread out. I think my torso, my head, and one arm, like one arm bits, whatever is needed for a full arm, I think they're going to try to actually go under the Hodag.
Okay.
Well, actually, let me ask you a question real quick.
Hmm.
Does the Hodag have a squishy underbelly?
I did just shoot it.
Yeah, I would say that it's not like squishy the way I think you would assume, but it's not as thick as the rest of it.
Okay, then yes, my head, arms, and torso are rolling underneath the Hodag,
Okay.
but everything else is sort of just spreading apart.
Also adding a bit of flavor to this, your trench coat just collapses onto the ground.
Yeah, it just...
And then all of these different crystal body parts are, they like, you watch the trench coat fall, and then from underneath the trench coat that is on the ground, you just see all these different crystal bits of your form just like spreading out across the grass, some going
like a
out,
bunch of
some going
cockroaches.
underneath. Yeah, like just like this insane thing that you are pulling off here. Jesse, you are sort of rolling out of the way, trying to get to like behind the Hodag in this moment, but now the Hodag is, let's see, what should the next move be?
He's fucking confused.
I love the fact that there were 2 completely different escape plans. One is normal, just roll away from it, and the other is completely insane.
Oh, but who knows what Hodge has planned?
I don't think Hodge knows what he has planned.
No, Hodge absolutely does not.
Okay, I think in this moment, so Seth, you're still in the back of the truck. You see this happening as well. I think after this many shots that you've taken with your sniper, you would have to do some kind of reload, you know what I mean, as a way to, you don't just have like a bottomless clip.
Essentially, yeah.
I don't know and I don't know how much ammo you necessarily brought for this, but we can figure that out sort of as it goes. You hear Corbin just be like, it's like, God fucking damn it, and then you hear him get into the truck and attempts to start it back up and potentially drive it away so that it doesn't get hit by this fire. And
Oh no!
The truck is having a tough time starting it. The sort of issues that were hitting it before have returned, and you are still in the bed of this truck. What do you do?
This is tricky. I can keep rolling kick at some ass, but I keep getting... Oh, wait, I have to reload. Yeah, I'm going to scatter.
You're just going to leave?
Yeah, I'm just going to leave the truck, assuming that the Hodag is going to get it.
You're going to leave Corbin in the truck. Interesting.
And Murphy, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
Murphy's in there too, yeah.
You see, you're far enough away from the Hodag that I feel like I don't need to make you roll for this, but I also feel like if I do make you roll for it, that can dictate some consequences in this, even if they're not necessarily to you.
Damn you and your consequences.
When will you learn? When will you learn?
That your actions have consequences.
Let's see here. Yeah, give me an act under pressure roll, Mark, and we'll just see what happens from here. Like, yeah, Corbin is in the driver's seat trying to.
Ooh.
That's a 6, baby. Mark experience, Seth.
Yep. Hey, 1 experience away from leveling up. That's the good
Same.
Nothing else is good about the situation.
Okay, I'm gonna have some fun with this. You hop out of the truck and you're able to sort of get out of a general zone. When you look back at the truck, you realize that Murphy is not there anymore.
Oh, shit.
And Corbin is still in the front seat, struggling to get this thing started.
Is the window down?
Yeah.
Can I yell at him to get out?
You can try. I mean, you did roll a failure.
My voice cracks.
No, he's flooding the engine so he can't hear you.
Yeah, or the well, actually, another point of order. Let's Dance is probably still blaring on the radio.
Oh my god.
So I don't think Corbin hears you, even if you did yell good enough. I mean, he knows what's happening, right? Like he saw what it was doing, and you all briefed him on the fact that it breathes fire. He's just trying to get his truck out of the way. And I think in this moment, you watch as the Hodag unleashes this, like I said, it was like 10, 15 yards away. This is like a flame that really travels too. Like even from where you rolled, Jesse, you can feel the heat really emitting off of this flame that is launching out. And it is traveling and it is making its way all the way to the truck. And like you see now as like this huge patch of grass in between the Hodag and the truck light on fire, but then the truck itself is now in flames. I would say like Corbin is not directly on fire yet, but they're definitely in a bad place. I'll let Jesse and Hodge sort of have their move here now after watching the Hodag do this. Let's see. Let Jesse, like, do you have something you want to try here?
I think I want to try and like serve it a little bit to see if I can see any like weak points or any like areas of interest, I guess.
Are you trying to read a bad situation?
Yes, I would like to ask the question no one has asked.
Really?
Okay, plus sharp. What is sharp? Sharp is 1. So
Right.
that's a 5.
A 5. Well, mark experience. Does it even say what happens on a read a bad situation? No, it's just hard. Man, okay.
Just can't tell shit about it.
I think because you were specifically trying to like inspect the Hodag here, I think after it takes its moment to breathe this huge line of fire, and there's not a lot of things around you in this football field, but there are like because this isn't like a stadium, right? This is like a like a place for like maybe they hold the games for the schools, but it's still like a park in a way. So like near the outer edges of the football field itself, there are still like trees and other things there. I think that when the Hodag it gets done breathing its fire, you watch it do something else that you haven't seen, and it's a much quicker action in this moment. You watch as it sort of like crouches and like braces in some way as a few of the spikes on its back launch out in many directions, and narrowly one almost hits you, but it ends up there's a tree nearby that one of the spikes stabs into. So now there's a couple of loose spikes on the ground. It will take maybe like a turn for that to transpire, but that is the situation in this moment. Hodge, what are you gonna do?
Hodge is gonna get their torso, their head, and an arm together underneath the Hodag.
Okay. What is what are you attempting to do here? Like, I know you want to get underneath. I feel like you can successfully get underneath, but like, what are you going to do
once I'm together?
Yeah. Like, I want to know, like, what is sort of like your intention?
I'm gonna get enough pieces of me together to at least hold my gun and get a good shot and just fire in the underbelly.
Okay. So this would be, I don't love doing this, but I want to do this for the sake of what we have set up for this. I'm going to have you roll act under pressure, and then if you're successful, then I'll have you roll kick some ass. We're going to sort of see where the act under pressure takes you. A mixed success.
Oh, it's an 8.
That is an 8. Worst outcome, hard choice, or price to pay. The price to pay here is because you are in fewer pieces than normal. Similarly to what happened to Seth of like not being able to brace themselves with their gun properly. You are just an arm and a torso and a head. If you take a shot with this huge pistol with one arm and basically just your body and your head, there may be consequences, even if you get a successful shot.
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to kick some ass to shoot the underbelly of the Hodag.
All right.
A mixed success.
Hey, someone want to help out?
Can someone possibly help a crystal person?
An arm, leg, and torso crystal boy?
Yeah. I want to try and boost the music in the car.
I feel like because of the distance, you're almost sort of trying to well, actually, I might have to push against that. the truck is on fire.
Oh shit, you're right.
I will still allow you to try and think of a way to help out if you can think of one.
Great balls
But
of fire.
when it comes to like using the music itself, I wonder if that's one that we might have to
just
veer away
start scream
from.
singing music.
You start serenading Hodge.
Don't stop me! Don't stop me!
I'm just gonna yell, sing hot cross buns.
Oh my god!
I don't know. Maybe we might have to. This might be one that you might not have a good way
Can't
of
help
really
on.
protecting.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I'll take the 11 then.
The 11. You got a 9.
Oh, the 9. My mistake. I was looking at
11
it.
would
If
be
you
a
got an
complete
11,
success.
why would I be helping out?
This is pretty bad here, Jordan. You realize that?
Just get
He just
stepped
kind
on.
of stomps on me. Yeah.
Yeah, the arm, torso, and head of Hodge is underneath, getting ready to crack a shot off on the softer underbelly of this Hodag. When that happens, and I did already establish, right, there's going to be a consequence when you take this shot.
Yeah.
You do that, and similarly, the pressure from the gun, from only holding it with one hand and not a whole lot else behind it, causes a pretty significant backlash onto Hodge. You do get a good hit on this Hodag's underbelly. It definitely looks like it penetrates a bit more than every other shot that you've seen so far. And I would say you do take 1 harm, ignore armor from that action.
Sure.
But the Hodag reacts to this.
Go for it. Just go for it.
Honestly, like they're gonna like start looking underneath them and see different crystal pieces of you like around,
Fuck.
and it's going to stomp on one of your legs.
Oh Christ. Okay.
And
yeah.
I think that because that piece is on its own, it's taking a hefty hit. I don't know if I can necessarily say that Hodge, you take. I guess so, right? You do still technically take harm.
You may detach one or more of your body parts. They act as an ally, subordinate, motivation to follow your exact.
Oh, dude, we're playing. We have gone so like out into left field here with this move.
You know
of
what?
yours.
You know what? Fair. Then yes, I think Hodge does take. I think he does. Like it's linked to him, right?
It is. It's sort of like your harm can almost be like how your structural
damage.
That too. Your structural integrity, right, of Hodge's like entire being.
You know what? Fair.
It's like his pieces are the different aspects of his like hit points. So like
Could be right.
Oh yeah.
hit point.
This one's gonna be
So he could
nasty.
be permanently gone a hit point like for the rest of the game.
He would be taking 2 harm here.
Oh well, then
Another 2 here.
Another 2. Well,
another
my
2.
armor would only make that 1.
It is technically it's his body.
That's true. That's true. You know what? So yeah, I'll give you that. So you do just take the 1 other harm, like added onto that.
He
so.
will take your leg though.
Yeah.
Your leg is I would say it probably is stuck underneath the Hodag currently.
Hodge is gonna yell out, "Not good!"
Corbin is still in the truck. I think is sort of met with this a bit of flame onto their jacket and is trying to. I think they're able to get out just fine, but like they're still among the fire that was launched at them.
They're still among us.
Oh, that's pretty. I wish I had the sound on my soundboard. You'd hear them. You hear fucking Corbin just be like, "Brrr." Seth, how do you react? What do you do in this moment after?
I want to help him put out the fire.
How so though? I'm curious.
I guess take his jacket off or just like drop and roll him.
You're going to push Corbin around and roll him on the ground. Let me check something actually. Let me see what your abilities are, and maybe you do got something here that could be at play here. I know that you know what you can, like you can visualize what your arms are a bit better than I could. Do you feel like one of these could be helpful in this moment?
7 might be relevant.
I have an idea on how that could work. Okay. So again, here's, we kind of tweaked this with because your use magic is like beyond a lot of the normal use magic.
Before we go to exactly what happens, let's roll magic first.
So go ahead and roll to use magic, and then we shall see where we land.
I find out, thank God, my weird is 2.
Ooh, oh wow! But you roll a fucking snake eyes.
Wow,
you got luck. You got luck.
They got luck, and they rolled a 4. Everybody, not good.
I'll let this one play out.
you want
Oh, all right.
Okay. Well, with you trying to use magic, let's see. Okay, I need to see. I have to cross-reference a lot of things because of the fact that we're using homebrew shit with particularly Seth's stuff. But I still want to use like the use magic consequences. The glitch would just be a problematic side effect or something, right? Because it's like you have an intention to use a certain arm, but it's not gonna go the way that you want. I think instead, like you run up to Corbin with the intention of summoning a certain arm. Instead, you summon arm 2. I don't know who would be watching this, but we see the arm turning into this long raptor claw that has like scales and feathers on it. And I think that another sort of hard move of this is that because there's feathers on it and you got a little too close in trying to help Corbin out, you also in that moment take on a bit of fire, and I think you just take 1 harm.
I'm now unstable.
But I'll at least give you, like, you are able to get Corbin away, but that also means that you're getting... That's what causes you to sort of catch on fire, even for a brief moment. Like, you're taking fire damage in the attempts here of going up and using magic and do that. So
I feel like my arm's made out of clay, so it wouldn't really catch on fire, but the rest of me isn't, and I'm close enough to the fire.
Right. Like you thought, like, I'll use this arm to grab at Corbin and not take as much damage, but the fire is getting a little wild, and the heat still does damage in that regard too. But yeah, you take a harm from this, but you do manage to get Corbin away. In basically, it's like you're able to do this in a very imperfect fashion that causes for you to take that harm. So, I think now in this moment, Jesse, you notice the spike that got stabbed into that tree.
I wanted to try and see if I could try and pull it out of the tree before it goes off. Am I close enough to try and physically pull it?
I would say it's act under pressure if you plan on physically doing it, unless you wanted to try and use magic. If use magic had an effect of some kind that you feel would be fitting to pulling the spike out, then you can do that and use plus weird instead.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that instead. It's got, I guess, do one thing that is beyond human limitations. If it's kind of like, I can't think of the word right now. Just trying to like pull it out with my mind, kind of.
Okay.
I can't think of the word.
I like that though. I like the idea of you using your brain.
Just like, there is a specific word for it.
It's like you're using, oh fuck, now I can't think of what I'm trying to say. Fuck.
Are you having a stroke?
It's a thing in D&D with the hand. And
mage hand.
Yeah, it's like you're mage handing, essentially.
That is not what I was thinking.
That's what I was thinking.
Sure,
though.
that also works.
Just anything to get this situation to move
yeah,
on.
something like that. I'll do whatever.
So go ahead and roll
is.
plus weird for your use magic.
Oh, that rolled off the table. That is a 9. It works imperfectly. I get to choose a glitch.
You choose the glitch, but then I tell you how the glitch affects what you're trying to do.
All right. Oh, I could also just take a harm because I haven't gotten any harm right now.
Here's how I'll spin it then. You're a decent distance away from the tree, and you want to get to pulling this spike out as soon as possible. You waste no time. You try to cast magic, and I think unless you want it to be something different, we could say that it is sort of like a mage hand type effect where you're throwing your sort of magic in that direction to grab onto the spike and pull on it. But because of the sort of distance, and on top of that, it does require quite a bit of force. Like, these spikes are huge, and it is lodged into that tree. You're able to successfully get it, but this harm that you take is because you're sort of pushing your magic beyond a bit more than you maybe should, and that sort of causes, like, we'll say like the D&D equivalent, right? The psychic damage. Like, you feel like this really loud ringing in your head, and it causes for like... It's similar to when the Hodag does their move of where they turn their head, but this causes actual harm to you.
All right.
You know what it is? It's like Stranger Things. You get a little bit of a bloody nose from it.
Also, the word I was trying to think of was telekinesis.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. You have a bit of a bloody nose. You maybe are brought to your knees in that moment, but you're able to remove the spike before that was able to happen. The Hodag Because the Hodag, when they did their thing, was sort of reactionary to Hodge, but now the Hodag kind of gets a moment here to do something. What does the Hodag want to do?
Give up.
Leave. Man.
Be a little baby. Run away.
I think, honestly, the Hodag is pretty pissed and is now going to try and run at the truck again, even like through the fire. I think you might even assume that fire may not even be one of the biggest things to affect the Hodag, but it's going to just bull charge its way through. And because it does like the same sort of rearing up by scraping its claw into the ground, it kind of tosses your leg across the field, Hodge, quite a good distance. And it is just going to bull charge towards the truck and honestly just flip it right over. Like it slams its horns right into the truck and flips it right the fuck over.
Are we near that, Seth and Corbin?
Yeah, you two are far enough away. You're still sort of tending to Corbin. I think they're about looking as bad as you do. Yeah, and you're unstable right now, and that's not good. But the Hodag does seem to be looking like it's pretty badly damaged. Like, it's got this pretty gnarly gash in its face from getting shot in the face by Corbin. It's got blood pouring out of its stomach because of Hodge. It has the damage that it took from before, which wasn't huge, but it was damage nonetheless. Like, you're chipping away at this thing. It is looking not so great. But Seth, you are tending to Corbin. I don't think anyone has seen Murphy. You're feeling pretty fucking bruised and banged up though, Seth.
Yeah.
Corbin, you can tell too, wants to be pissed, but I think he's pretty whittled down from all of this, and I think it's close to also just sort of passing out. What do you do?
So we're in a bad way.
You also still have your arm the way that it looks like this raptor claw.
Okay. Well, I can't use my sniper now.
I feel like you can't really use magic. Like, that's another kind of consequence to rolling so poorly there.
Yeah, that I'm kind of just stuck as...
For the time being.
For the time being, I'm stuck as myself.
The time being.
The time being. It's what we needed this whole time.
Yeah, go back in time and never start this fight.
Shit, I don't know what to do. So the Hodag's looking pretty banged up.
Hodag's looking pretty banged up. So are you.
Yeah. I'm pretty fucked up.
You know, me and this Hodag, we're a lot more alike than I expected.
Than we think, yeah.
Does Corbin still have the shotgun?
Yeah, I would say like Corbin, I think like that was one of the things they held on to when you dragged him away from the truck.
Yeah, because I probably don't have my sniper rifle since my arm is... Well, I guess maybe it's slung across my back, but I can't use it. Can I use Corbin's shotgun?
Sure.
Okay.
Are you going to try and kick some ass?
Yeah.
All right, let's see how this goes.
Come on, baby. Don't fuck me now. Mixed success.
So you got a mixed success with your kick some ass. Mixed. The amount of harm based. Okay, so you're attempting to do... With the shotgun, I believe, was also a 3. Let me pull this up. I do have a sheet for Corbin.
Oh, I had no idea what damage it did.
It does do 3.
Cool.
I think that because of the position of things, you're able to almost shoot like the other side of this thing's face, and its face is looking mangled now. Like that shot, because of like how close you are and how much damage it does, like, and you guys have been whittling down its armor. It's just sort of weaker overall. Like, this Hodag is looking fucking nasty right now, but you also will take some harm. Man, I hate to do this again because I feel like we could maybe come up with something a bit more interesting, but I think that we did establish like you still have your raptor arm, so you are probably firing this thing with one arm, and maybe the other arm is like not able to help out as much as you would like. And because you do have the injuries that you do, you're sort of like, a lot of your injuries are very self-inflicted for the sake of trying to do more damage to the Hodag. And I'll say, like, that is true, right? Like, you're doing 3 harm, you know, through whatever armor this thing has, and only taking 1 in particular. So you're going to take another harm in this moment. Hodge, you kind of have a moment here now as well to attempt to maybe Lego piece yourself back together or something.
That's exactly what I think Hodge is trying to do.
So you want to just take a moment to try and piece yourself back together?
Yeah. Is that another act under pressure, would you say?
You know what? I'll actually say no, because your arm, torso, and head are already put back together. There's just like your other leg and your other arm, and then your
Okay.
second leg, which has sort of been crushed and tossed. So it's up to you if you want to try and get
Yes.
that. But I'll say that
I'll try to get that one too.
very quickly, you're able to get the rest of your body put back together. And then when you attach the leg that has been damaged, it is definitely like
I'm limping.
you're very much
like,
limping.
it's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a pretty gnarly crack going across like a majority of like your crystal leg. But
okay.
I'll give you a chance to do something else. Like I don't want to make you roll to just put yourself back together.
Hodge is gonna stand up, and I guess they're just gonna reload their gun.
Okay. I guess that would just be your move. I mean, like if you can think of something else that you want to do that's not involving your gun, then I'll give you a chance to like have a roll here. I just want to skip past it because like you don't have to roll to reload, but that would be like a turn essentially.
I actually I do have a question to add to Hodge's batshit moves of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Can I attempt to run behind the Hodag, jump up, and try to essentially wrestle my way onto it? Like, sort of like mechanical bull this shit. My end game is I want to punch the shit out of it.
Okay.
Like every mechanical bull, of course.
Exactly. You guys don't go into bars and just start beating up the mechanical bull?
Okay.
It's my favorite hobby.
I've been kicked out.
Is that
of
what they're
so many
calling it
bars.
now? Yeah, I gotta go beat the mechanical bull. Would you say this is a kick some ass then?
I mean, it's up to you what this is, because I don't know if I would need to roll to get on it. I'm okay with this taking 2 turns to see if I need to get on it, and then from there, being able to kick some ass.
I'll let you have a kick some ass. I don't think we need to do 2 rolls. I think that you're put together enough and you're able to react enough to attempt to kind of like run up the back of this thing's tail and wrestle it in whatever way you see that you probably could.
Okay. While running up, Hodge is gonna yell yabba dabba doo.
Okay.
Bullfighting looks different these days.
Hey, that's experience! I'm ready to level up, gamers!
Unless someone can help.
Unless.
Because it
But
is a
that
6.
would only get it to us. Oh yeah, that would get it
Because
to
a 7 will get it to mixed success.
It's true.
I'm trying to think if like getting on top of the Hodag is kind of part of this move, because I could try to give them kind of a boost to get on top.
Like with magic.
Yeah.
What does Hellbout use, right? Does it use tough?
Plus cool.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah. Actually, just we'll use plus cool and run with that.
And I think I had 1 cool.
You get a 1 cool.
That's 10.
A 10. Okay, so you get a complete success. I feel like, yeah, like you mentioned, like you're kind of using magic to kind of boost Hodge up to to help them climb the back of the Hodag as Hodge starts to run. It's like they're running at double speed. Like there's like a wind to their back. The limp that they normally would have had does not hinder them because the magic that you use is assisting them in this moment. And you watch as Hodge runs up the tail of the Hodag, and then even though this is a mixed success, Jordan, what happens here? I'll still have like a bit of a consequence here because of the fact that it's a mixed success, but what does this look like?
I think Hodge just with that sort of wind in his step, quite literally, I think they land a bit closer to the head, and I think they're gonna try to punch the shit out of it in the nape of the neck, so to speak.
Poke them in the eye.
Yeah, just poke him in the eye.
That would be 2 harm, and then you will also have to suffer as well. Suffer, Jordan. I think that...
What if you didn't think?
I don't.
What if head empty?
Head
Vsauce,
empty.
Michael here.
It's gonna... I feel like it'd be kind of cool to say, like, you are punching and tearing at, trying to hurt this thing in this close quarters way, and you're really starting to feel just how thick and tough the skin of the Hodag is, to the point where it's maybe chipping at your knuckles a bit as you are sort of punching into its neck, but it doesn't stop you from brute forcing it, and you will take, I think you're gonna take 1 harm, ignore armor, because it's really getting at you.
Yeah, that's fair.
And now the meat is tender as fuck.
Yeah, now we can cook him up.
Let's see here. Jesse, I think you do get a moment after that to try and do something here.
Wait, I had the 1 weapon still, right? The rifle?
You do actually. Yeah, you do have the gun.
What's the damage on that?
I think we said it was 2.
All right, I could blast a little bit.
Okay. Then this would still be a tough roll
That's
for
a
a kick some ass. Yeah.
All right, what is my tough? Not great. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, it's just
That's
a
a
0.
0. That's a 9.
A 9. I'm trying to even think on how someone could try to help out with this. I mean,
Could I attack it? And my raptor arm has restraining, so like, could I hold it in place for them to fire better?
I like that idea. Here's how I'm sort of imagining the situation is going before Jesse takes a shot. Is Hodge is on this thing's back, punching at it and kind of grabbing at its horn, similarly trying to do what they did before and hold this thing in place in a way while also doing damage to it. And you can try to use your raptor arm to kind of grab at the other horn to try and like keep the Hodag from moving too much as Jesse tries to take a shot off at this thing. Go ahead, roll help out, and we'll see where this takes you.
Rolls cool.
Whoa!
Whoa, that is a 13
Damn.
and advanced success.
I mean,
but
you don't
think
have the
we
advanced
don't have
move,
advanced,
but
right? Yeah.
you it works. I'll just say like, yeah, works without issue. Like you reach your raptor arm out and you grab at the other horn of the Hodag to kind of keep it in place. Jesse, I would say like you were behind the Hodag a pretty good distance, but because the rifle doesn't have a scope on it, you got to get a little closer. But because of the you got a 10 plus with this kick some ass with this rifle, you're able to kind of get up towards like the side while still being a good distance away from this Hodag. And I think that's what it is Seth grabbing at the horn of the Hodag and Hodge also sort of having a grab on this thing's head. When Seth finally grabs at the horn, turns the face of the Hodag in your direction as you take a shot off with the rifle, and it goes right into its eye and out the other end. Absolutely finishes off this Hodag with that last shot.
Damn.
Damn.
Thank the gods.
There is still a bit of a fire going on this football field. Corbin is unconscious. Murphy is nowhere to be found. And I think now is the time that the sirens, the lights that you had saw earlier, Jesse, they pull up and you see it's just one cop car. And thank the gods, because it is Palmer Kelly. And he looks like he's spooked. He's freaking out. He now sees this Hodag slumped onto the ground. He sees the fire. I don't know if it's like spreading crazily, but it's still sort of there. He sees the truck flipped over. Palmer Kelly sees all this, and he's just like, so is this do we got the dragon? Is this it?
This is the dragon. It's seemed to have passed away, or it's taking a very deep nap.
Okay, I'm still figuring you out. This, God, okay. We're gonna have to work really hard to sweep this under the rug. Y'all made a lot of fucking noise. You know that, right?
This is a disaster. We destroyed the field.
It's not entirely destroyed.
There's a little patch of grass that's on fire. We do need to get this back to where would we even take this?
I don't know. What are you asking me? You're the monster hunters.
I mean, I'm asking the others. This is sort of my first time in a situation like this.
And you hear Palmer in the background who's like, "How are we gonna get the fucking truck out of here?"
Maybe we can't get the truck out of here. Maybe we take the license plate off of it, and we leave the truck, and it seems like a drunk driver flipped their car, which caught on fire.
Palmer comes in, he goes, "Okay, but what about the dragon?"
Yeah, we need to get rid of that. Does your car have a winch?
He looks at his car, and he looks at the dead Hodag, and he just goes, I don't know if this is enough, man. This thing is friggin' huge. I mean, we can try, but I mean...
Palmer, if maybe you can hold off any prying eyes for a moment, maybe we can go back to CISRA, and they might have a way for us to get it out of here, no questions asked.
Okay, I can... I'll have to. I'll maybe try to set up something so that like a roadblock type situation. I'll have to make sure. I mean,
People on the street
so
side.
many people heard that, and I mean, people know that there's like a dragon situation. So I mean,
Mm.
We told them it was a dog with rabies.
you know what?
If Seth wasn't so bad off, I would suggest me and him trying to portal it out of here.
Oh, interesting. But Palmer, he goes, okay, as long as I can trust you to handle this as much as you can, I will go and try and set up a bit of a blockade to diminish anybody from making their way over here. Jesus
Okay.
Christ. Okay.
Yeah, if anybody asks, maybe say it was a cow with, or a dog with mad cow disease.
This is, I don't.
Can dogs
I mean,
get mad cow?
I
The-
don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, the yokels will probably believe it.
Palmer does the thing where he like takes his cap off and he's like rubbing his fucking forehead and he's like, okay. I mean, I don't. This is a real stretch of the imagination to tell anyone that this is like a dog or a cat. Yeah, I'm just handle it. And then he
Will do.
storms off into his police car and drives off to try and gather what he needs to set up a blockade on the road. What do you guys do next?
I
could use some
mean,
help.
yeah, help out Seth.
Hodge, you try to wake Corbin.
Okay, yeah.
You heal yourself, and I'll also heal you, and then we can double heal you.
If I
Yeah, I'll say
succeed.
too. Like, I think now your arm goes back to its normal state. But yeah, I think we'll need to wait for Jesse's heal first before you have like the opportunity to try to heal yourself with your thing.
Mhm.
All right. So I'm gonna do my use magic roll, which is plus weird. It's what is my weird? It was 2. That's an 11.
Thank God.
Okay. Is there? So what's
How much
what's
is
with
that?
the? Yeah, how much are you
It's
able to
heal
heal
1
with that?
harm from an injury or cure a disease or neutralize a poison. So it's 1 harm.
Okay, so just the 1 harm has been healed. Okay, and that's. I mean, hey, that's something, right? That's closer
Yeah,
to being
that's better
back
than
to
nothing.
stable.
If this fucks
Uh,
up, at least that should help me not die.
Yeah. So go ahead now. Attempt. Do you want to try and use your magic as well now?
Yes.
Seth? Okay. Go ahead and give me a use magic roll to try and shift your arm back to that. A mixed success. So there's a glitch to
It's a
it.
glitch.
You take 1 harm.
But I heal 2, so I just okay. I was gonna say the effect is weakened, and I just take 1.
you can
harm,
you
or I
defeat the
just
glitch,
refuse.
and then I tell you what happens with the glitch.
Okay. I was gonna go. The effect is weakened.
Okay. I mean, then it would just be another 1
Yeah, but that would make me
back to stable.
stable. And
Yeah,
that's what I wanted.
I think that like
I can compromise with that.
it's like any sort of burn marks you had are because they were rather fresh, they're able to be healed up from your magic rather quickly compared to a lot of the other injuries you've been sustaining. And so yeah, you are now back to being stable. Hodge, you are attending to Corbin, who has been passed out on the ground. They've also sort of their leather jacket has sort of been burnt a little bit. Their hair was a pristine sharp mohawk before. It's just messy as all hell after all this whole thing. They don't look great. They don't look like they're dying, but they just don't look, they've definitely been through it just like the rest of you have.
I think Hodge is just gonna try to like stir Corbin awake and just go, Corbin, it's time to wake up. The Hodag has been defeated.
I don't think Corbin wakes up so easily. I think that they have been pretty significantly drained of their energy.
Hodge is just gonna kind of put Corbin over their shoulder and just, get them out of there.
Well, before you do that, I want to talk to Jesse. You mentioned portals.
Yeah, I was wondering if you could try and you know how to do magic, so maybe we can somehow try and combine our magic and make a portal big enough to get at least the Hodag's body somewhere near CISRA.
I know how to do a specific kind of magic. I don't know if any of my arms would be able to help out.
If I'm to guess what Karita is sort of leaning in this is the big magic, roll,
Okay.
which usually has a lot of requirements, some involving people helping out. Sometimes you have to have certain components. Sometimes you just need to have like, a lot of these other things. Technically speaking, Jesse could do the big magic and then like have some assistance in some way, whether, you know what I mean? So, do you feel like you have an arm that could help? Like you were saying, like you did sound like you kind of had one, maybe.
If we want to stretch 9 out, that's the most helpful one.
Okay, so there's one of the big magic things says that you need a lot of people, 2, 3, whatever, to help. Could I get both of them to help? And the way Hodge helps is if I can kind of channel magic
His
through
powers.
him and kind of use the crystal to magnify it.
Yeah, Hodge would be a focus crystal.
My God. That would be awesome. I love this. Okay. So yes to that. I would like for Seth to be involved in some way as well.
Can I use my arm to heal Hodge and make sure that he's not, like, to essentially fix his cracks and help the stabilize
Fix my
the crystal?
crack. Sorry.
Fix my crack, Grapes.
Okay. I love this. Okay.
Essentially fix the crystal.
We're going to have to take some steps here. And that's not to say that if things like if you're not able to do what you want, Seth, that doesn't mean that the everything falls apart.
Yeah.
But I love this idea. So we're going to take this in steps. So we'll just say like Corbin has been gently put back onto the ground. Hodge, and you've all had this discussion now of like doing this big magic, using kind of Hodge as a magnifier with his crystalline body for Jesse's magic, and Seth is going to try and use one of their arms to kind of make sure that Hodge is healed up and maybe doesn't sustain any more damage as to being used as a magnifier. So I think the first thing we need to do is sort of set up Seth's part in this. So go ahead and give me a use magic, Seth.
And I'd really like that 13 to come back.
Can
can I use a luck point?
You can, but you gotta keep in mind your.
I know. I have 2 luck points already, and yeah, I know my luck special.
They're finite, and yeah, you've got your special, which I haven't forgotten about it. It's just we've been stuck in this time frame. So, okay, you get a complete success. You guys watch as Seth's arm glows and morphs into this large talon of a healing bird. Could you describe what that means, Mark? I would like more detail.
The Caladrius?
Yeah.
It's it's an old like medieval story of a bird that had the ability to heal the wounded and heal illness.
How does the healing look onto Hodge with this talon?
I guess it would say it's almost like a transfer of energy from me to Hodge.
Okay, like you're sort of touching a talon, like you're poking a piece of the crystal of Hodge with one of your talons, and then there's like this transfer of energy that moves from the talon to Hodge. And I think like your energy obviously has like this different sort of color to it than Hodge's sort of normal crystal body. I think in this moment, the crystalline smoky quartz has this reaction where it's sort of maybe like lava lamp-esque, or like you can kind of see the smoky quartz and this other magic sort of
flow through me.
Flowing through and just sort of moving around in Hodge's body. Part of the damage on Hodge is healing. So Hodge, in this moment, you do actually get to heal for 2 harm.
Woo, let's go. I'm at 1 harm.
Now, I think that Hodge being the magnifier just sort of needs to if Hodge, as long as they're willing, just sort of has to take whatever it is that happens next. So now...
Yeah, Hodge's willing.
Okay, so then you don't need to roll. You just need to sort of act as a catalyst. So now then Jesse needs to roll. The attempt here is to spawn a portal that... Or even just teleport this thing. You don't want to make a portal and then have to throw it in there because this thing's heavy. You straight up just want to teleport it to be maybe like right outside the back of the CISRA building.
So I'm rolling use magic.
Yeah, give us a use magic. Add that weird to this use magic for the big,
hell
big magic.
Yeah. +2. Yes, 11.
11, a complete success to this big magic that you're doing here. Okay, how does this look?
I think it's almost like when you shine light through a crystal and it makes a prism.
Oh,
but
yeah.
kind of sort of the magic version of that, which then kind of rips a hole in the air, forming a portal.
That's awesome.
And I kind of like push it to go over the Hodak's body. It's like a reverse 3D printer.
yeah. I feel like because you did this successfully, like you know the destination you wanted to go to, and because of your third eye, because you do have the third eye, I will allow you to sort of have this ability to mentally be able to sort of see the area that you want to put it, like near the CISRA building. So that way you'd like if Corbin's truck was in the back of the CISRA building, you wouldn't accidentally put it there, right? Like you have the ability to see the back of the building and see where the body of this creature is now, using your third eye to view that. And now the Hodag body has been successfully teleported from the football field all the way to the CISRA building. And I will say, even though you used Hodge here as a magnifier and everything kind of went smoothly, like that definitely still takes a lot out of you, just like on like a physical level.
Right.
But I don't think you necessarily suffer anything, because that did go way, way smoother than I was ever expecting.
It was fucking cool though.
He was so cool. Now that they're like what's left on the football field is the turned over truck, and there's no more fire, but there's the damage from the fire that is on the field. What do you guys do next?
I guess I would focus more on like there's still some of the spikes on the ground, right?
Mhm.
I would probably like try and pick those up, maybe put them in a bag. I don't know.
I can help
Just
collect
not
them.
like leave them lying
Yeah,
around.
I think like you have some means of carrying them without. You're not just holding. You're not the meme of the guy who's like, why can't I hold all these fucking lemons? So you're gathering as like I'll say you've gathered. You're confident you got all of the spikes.
Hell yeah.
And I'm assuming Hodge, you're picking up Corbin again to carry them.
Yeah.
And Seth, are you doing anything in particular?
I was helping them with the spikes.
Okay. And you're at the moment you're just gonna leave the truck and sort of try to run with that story of like maybe it was a drunk driver. Like, you're gonna remove the plates, hope that
Yeah.
you can kind of run with the story that it was like a drunk driving incident.
Mhm.
Okay. That's so interesting and cool. I think that after you guys gather what you need, you all are sort of ready to walk away from the football field and part ways to do your respective tasks, with Jesse running to Palmer to inform them so that they can let them know that things have been sort of handled. And the other two are going to head back to CISRA for healing and for taking care of their currently unconscious companion. But as you are all about to leave the football field, near the sort of destroyed entrance that Corbin's truck crashed through, you see... You actually don't know her name. The lady that you saw at the Ren Fair that you were asking the questions of, the one that you interviewed. She is just... You gather that she has sort of witnessed a good chunk of things, even if they just saw the final moments of what just
Still
went
way
down.
too much that they
Seen
saw.
way too much. I don't know who feels what, but I feel like there's a couple of you that maybe feel like this oh fuck moment of like this person should not have seen this.
I think Hodge doesn't know that, so I think when like that's noticed, Hodge just raises up their arm and go, "Hello,